My name's Coach Jay. I own Locomotion Fitness in Charleston, South Carolina, and I am a two-brain client. One of the things you get as a two-brain business client is homework. Now, I know taking it back to school, maybe not our favorite thing in the world, but when it's homework for your business, it is super rewarding because it starts to show up in your bank account in dollars and cents after you do the work. So one of my pieces of homework from my mentor this month was to complete a 5-part gym audit. And this is just a general look over of all the different systems, operations, marketing, sales, etc. that your gym has in place. We're gonna do this 5-part gym audit as part of our annual planning process. Once a year, it's a great idea to look through all of these different components of our business and make sure that we are not missing anything, nothing's slipping through the cracks. And even if things look good, let's figure out what we can optimize and make even better. So the 5 things we're gonna take a look at are client journey, or what happens from the moment someone starts interacting with your business to, let's say, the 3-year mark of them being a member with you. Then we're gonna take a look at operations. So staff playbook, staff training, etc. Then we'll take a look at facility. So does everything look good? Do we need to replace any equipment? Then we'll take a look at marketing, both paid marketing and non-paid marketing. And finally, we'll make sure that our sales process looks good. We want to make sure that we do these things before we go on any big marketing push or really take our business in any given direction. Because if something is messed up before we start our new campaign, we're not going to know if the campaign was unsuccessful because the idea was bad, or if it was unsuccessful because somebody showed up to the gym and your bathrooms didn't have toilet paper. So let's fix what we can, and then we can decide if what we're doing is successful or not. The first thing we're going to take a look at is our client journey. And the main goal here is to identify the primary drop-off points in your business. So when somebody comes in and they sign up for on-ramp or foundations, are they continuing on into a membership after that? Or is there an issue? Do people tend to stop then? Or maybe it's at the 1-month mark, or at the 3-month mark, or at the 7-month mark. Something is happening that is prompting people to cancel more at that point than, say, the 6-month mark or the 8-month mark. And we want to try to figure out why that is, so that we can increase our length of engagement, or the amount of time any given member stays with us. Remember, length of engagement is one component of lifetime value of a client. So if we take the average revenue that we're going to get in a month from a member, and then we know how long on average someone stays with us, we've got a crystal clear picture of what a client is worth to us. And that is a huge number to know when making decisions on how many dollars you can spend on marketing or what upgrades you want to do to the facility. So if I know someone's falling off at the 2-month mark, what are some things that could cause that to happen? And the first thing that went through my mind was that people aren't seeing results, right? That's right around the time people are checking in and they want to see changes in the mirror. So you know, I know as a fitness entrepreneur that in order for people to see changes to their body composition, they have got to pay attention to nutrition. So what we did is at the 45-day mark, we set up an automation to go out both as a task to our nutrition coach and an automated message to our member asking them to book a free intro for nutrition. I know if I can get them in and get them working on the nutrition, they're gonna see those results, and therefore they're gonna be there past that 2-month mark, and that means I know on average I'll have them over 20 months. Those are the kind of things that we're looking for as we audit the client journey. The next thing we're gonna take a look at is set, show, and close rates. So let's say we get 100 people that opt in from some ad campaign that you have out. And of those 100 people, 50 of them book appointments. That means your set rate is 50%. Now, of those 50 appointments booked, how many of those actually show up? What is that percentage? And that is your show rate. And then finally, of the people that show, how many of those do you close? And that is your close rate. Now, it's important to know these numbers because they essentially tell us what part of the client journey is messed up or isn't functioning properly when somebody is a lead. Because I know if my set rate is low, so if I have a lot of leads but nobody is booking an appointment, there's a problem there. There's something wrong with our call to action that is making people not book appointments. Or let's say that a ton of people are booking appointments, so our set rate is high, but no one is showing up. Our show rate is really low. Then we know that there is a problem with the lead nurture process, or reaching out, calling, texting, sending emails once someone books that appointment, but before they actually show up. Then finally, we've got our close rate. And if our close rate is low and our set rate and show rate are high, then we know we've got a sales problem. And I've got to figure out something in my sales process to improve that number. So now we've closed someone, and the next thing we need to look at is what happens after that. So is this person going into an on-ramp program or foundations program to get them ready for group CrossFit classes? Or maybe your gym is like mine and we've got CrossFit, boot camp, yoga, cycle. What happens to the people that don't need foundations appointments? We still want to do something to onboard them and make them feel like they're part of the gym. So we're going to take a look at that on-ramp process, and it's not just about the programming. In fact, I would argue that it is about what happens in addition to the programming that really makes a difference. So are you doing an in-body scan somewhere in this process? Are you talking about nutrition? Are you going over all the different offerings that your gym has and how they're going to be able to help that member? Do you have some sort of member handbook that has FAQs and acronyms and things that are going to make them feel more comfortable when it is time to come into class? So for us, we've got our foundations classes. Each session talk about a different idea or concept in addition to something operational with the gym. For our people that are non-CrossFitters, what we have is what we call an all aboard. And our all aboard appointment is set in place to make sure that somebody feels ready to join group classes. So they've already come in for their free intro, sitting down one-on-one with a coach. We've prescribed to them some sort of plan. But at that point, I still felt like sending someone to class right away without any idea of what's going on wasn't the best idea. So we book one more appointment to really write down client goals and take initial biometrics and make them feel like we care, because we do. Then when they show up to classes, they already have this feeling of, man, this person is looking out for me. This gym is amazing. And as long as the service you're delivering in class is solid, that mindset is just going to continue to roll onward. The next piece we're going to talk about in our client journey are goal reviews, or at Locomotion, we call them athlete check-in appointments. This needs to happen at least every 3 months. And what these appointments are is a sit down one-on-one with a coach outside of a class setting so that we can keep tabs on what is going on in a member's life. Now that helps us do all sorts of things, from just the most basic level as their coach. I need to know how people are eating, how they're sleeping, what their stress levels are like, because that's going to help me prescribe what that person should be doing for exercise and nutrition. Now, it's really important to have those goal reviews in places where members tend to drop off. So if members tend to drop off at the 6-month mark, if we go backwards 2 weeks to a month and put a goal review there, now I can sit down with this person and help them adjust their training. Maybe it's freshening things up or helping them get slightly better results. That is going to get them through that 6-month sticky point so that they stick around for a longer period of time. A huge piece of the client journey involves one of the roles that you should have set up at your gym. And And that role is called the Client Success Manager. This person is responsible for guiding people through the client journey. So if somebody hits a PR, the Client Success Manager is going to reach out to that person and congratulate them. If there is a wedding or a death in the family, we're going to send out a card and let that person know that we care. The Client Success Manager is the one who is calling a member at their 30-day mark or their 100 class mark to check in on their goals and make sure their experience is awesome. So your Client Success Manager is essentially in place to make sure that no one falls through the cracks, to make people feel important, and to make sure they're not getting lost anywhere in the client journey. A good Client Success Manager is worth their weight in gold. This is the person that is going to have the biggest impact on retention. And so you need to make sure that you do a good job searching for and finding the right person for this role. The final piece of the client journey that we want to take a look at is all of the automated messages that are going out. This could come in the form of emails or text messages, and we really want to split this up into individualized campaigns based on where somebody is in their journey at your gym. So whether they're a new client or somebody that's been there for a while, and also what program they're a part of. So are they a personal training client or are they a nutrition client? And these messages need to be customized to their experience. Think about how annoying it is if you get a message talking about building muscle and your goal is to lose fat. So we need to make sure that we go through these automations and that triggers are set up appropriately so that people get the right things at the right time in their journey. That brings us to the end of our client journey audit. Next up, we're going to take a look at all of our operations, our staff playbook, staff training, all the things to make sure that we deliver killer service so that we can get clients in our gym and help change their lives.